Awesome. Okay, so let's start our MAA session. First of all, happy holidays to everyone who is joining us. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And by the end of the MAA session, we will dive into something very interesting that 3Commas has prepared for you for this Christmas. And today we have a very special MAA with a very special guest, Yuriy Sorokin, CEO of 3Commas. Yuriy, hello again. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, and our main topic for today is 2024 recap and 2025 goals and plans. So what we're going to do in 3Commas to deliver you the best service possible. So Yuriy, let me quickly introduce you. Yuriy Sorokin is the visionary founder and CEO of 3Commas. And under his leadership, 3Commas has grown into a globally recognized platform integrating with over than 18 major exchanges. And Yuriy's eye for innovation and user-focused solutions has positioned 3Commas as a trusted partner in cryptocurrency trading. So in this AMA, we will dive into Yuriy's reflections on 2024, his insights into the industry, and his plans for 2025. Welcome again, Yuriy. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. Can I add a few words to that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so first of all, everyone who joined, thank you for being here. I wouldn't describe myself with with very beautiful words as Anna did. I would mostly say that since graduating in the field of information security more than 13 years ago, I started my first software development company, which eventually grew into an outsourcing firm that had around 30 people, and we were mostly building data visualization and data analysis software. My journey with crypto actually started back in 2012 because at some point I read about Bitcoin on Reddit. This is the true story that I was the only person in the office. I bought 4 video cards, and at that moment, you would mine 1 Bitcoin per day on 2 video cards. So that was like 2 Bitcoins per day. But everyone hated me because the GPUs were noisy and they were generating quite a lot of heat. And the success story is that I mined quite a lot of Bitcoin. It's when it was $7. And then when it got to $13, I sold half of it, and I took my ex-co-founder to Turkey, like to a proper hotel on a trip. So that was our way to celebrate. And then the second half got whatever lost or stolen or whatever when MTGOX got hacked, because at that moment there were no other exchanges. And then we kind of forgot about crypto for basically 4 years. To be honest, I will be like, really, I thought that Bitcoin was not even dead, but I didn't know that some things were happening. So when we got back to the business, it was, again, Yegor, my co-founder and our ex-CTO. He came back to me saying, "Hey, Yuriy, do you know that the crypto is not dead, and they have this new thing called Ethereum right now?" And I was like, "What? Like Ethereum?" And so this story more or less repeated itself, but I guess in a better way. So Ethereum at that moment was at $30. We bought a bunch of racks and we started mining it. There was another like funny issue because at that moment Yegor just bought a new apartment and he moved there, and this apartment, it was in a new building. So just I'm not sure how many guys from you like see this huge like apartment complexes that they build in Russia at that moment, but it's very similar.
Skyscrapers?
It's not a skyscraper, but it's like 30 store apartment building where they will have like 1,000 apartments or something. And basically when he moved in, he was more or less the only person living in the building because he was the first. And like a couple of months later, the management company comes to him, and they were very apologetic, and they were like, "Mr. Yegor, we are very sorry. It seems that there is like a problem with your electricity meters. Because like your apartment it uses the same electricity as the whole other building that is like over here, and like there are like 500 people living here, and you're like it's 2 people living in this building, so there's definitely an error, but like don't worry, we will fix it for you, and we'll fix the electricity meters.
Definitely an
Yeah,
error, yes.
yeah, but it was not. It was not an issue. It was not a problem with electricity meters. It was a huge farm of Ethereum mining stuff. And then at that moment, we started getting into crypto, and we never. The real story of 3Commas is that we never planned, at least at the moment when we started, we never planned to build this business into this big platform. We just wanted to have a tool for ourselves, which will allow us to manage the positions across multiple exchanges. At that moment, you only had what you have. You had Bittrex, you had Bitfinex as most popular ones. So like 3 to 4 exchanges. Even Binance was not there. And then the exchanges at those moments didn't have any kind of advanced orders. So, for example, you couldn't even set both take profit and stop loss simultaneously on an exchange. So we figured that it seems that there is a gap between the traders who are used to traditional trading software like MetaTrader or other terminals, and then the crypto world. So what we started doing is that we first built the portfolio, whatever tracker, and then it got this feature that would allow you to buy the portfolio that you specified, like 50% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, I don't know, 20% Ripple or something in one click, and then also to sell it all to USDT, because at that moment it was only USDT, there was nothing else, to sell it back. And then we built a terminal, and this is how we got our first majority of the users, because the terminal, the feature of the terminal was our built-in logic that basically allowed people to set both stop loss and take profit simultaneously. And this is how it all started. And then we grew pretty quickly to, I would say, one of the biggest platforms. In 2020, I raised the first investment round from Alameda. At that moment, Sam was renowned and like in Forbes and on People magazines and everywhere, and they were cheering for us. From 2020 to 2021, we grew 13 times in number of users. We grew 11 times in number of our revenue. And so this is when, end of 2021, I raised the second investment round, now from Target Global, Jump Crypto, the founder of Copper, the big custodian service, also supported us. And yeah, I'm not going. I probably wouldn't go into a lot of details of what happened next. We can talk more about that if you're interested. But I would say that we mostly did, like 99% of the books that of the mistakes that you will find in like entrepreneur or founder book. Because after we raised the second round, we first hired like 300 people. So from a team of 50 people working more or less in one office, we went to 350 people, and because of COVID first and then because of the war, we became a completely distributed team. And so at this moment, obviously everything started being more slow, and I would mostly say that I'm very happy in the way how we survived the situation in the first place, and then how we managed it and how we restructured the company this year. But again, we will talk about that in the detail. So this is my intro from the team of the 3 founders that we started with. I am the only one who is operationally involved with the company at that moment. My ex-co-founders obviously still remain our shareholders, but they are not operationally involved. And I will be happy to talk today and answer all the questions that you have.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this background of you and 3Commas. Now, when I know that you started mining very early when the Bitcoin was only in its beginning, it definitely makes sense for you to be where you are already now. And it definitely makes sense for 3Commas to have such a success. And definitely we will talk about this in details during our MA session. But now, guys, give us some reactions on Twitter if you're listening to us on Twitter, and give us some reactions on YouTube if you're listening to us on YouTube. And I would suggest us to go into the 2024 year in review. So I have 4 questions here. So let's start with the first one. Could you highlight the most significant milestones 3Commas reached in 2024 that you are personally proud of as a founder?
Yeah. So continuing the story that I was just telling, after the Luna market, the Luna first, and then the FTX collapse, and the whole market collapsing in 2021, 2022, and on the top of that, us hiring more than 300 people, and as I said, becoming from this very lean company sitting in one office from 50 people to this 350 people giant, we started losing quite a lot of money. And so the main achievement is the restructuring that we did this year, at the end of last year and this year. So now we are a team of roughly 90 people, which is a huge downsize from 350, as you would imagine. This was not an easy process, but we had to go through this. And I would say that I am very happy with the way we did it, because we've replaced 60% of the management team. I would say less on the development side, but still, this is not an easy thing to do, because obviously a lot of people are upset, and a lot of processes are changing. But the main thing is that now 3Commas is back to break even. And looking at other crypto companies, I am quite happy to say that the money that we raised during our investment rounds back in 2020 and 2021, we still have them. So financially, we are in a very, I would say, good position to continue to build the products that we need, and to deliver the vision that we have.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very good for a company to be in a good health, and 3Commas definitely has it. And I'm also very happy to be joining the team, because I joined it just recently. So what I see now is very inspiring. I see people asking some questions in the chat, guys. We will dive into them at the end of the MAA session. I see there are some very important questions to address. Please keep them coming. We will take some time at the end of the MA session. Okay, moving forward with the next question. So what were the most impactful innovations introduced by 3Commas in 2024 for professional traders?
Okay, so I would say that again, one of the biggest changes that we did, and I guess this is continuing from the previous one, but in more in the product and the vision side, comparing to the the actual finances stuff, is that we are executing a pivot from being a retail-oriented company to a professional, advanced traders, asset managers oriented business, which means that the MVP that we launched in September, that caters to people who manage a lot of bots or trades, or they basically, again, let's say this: what 3Commas does best. 3Commas is the platform that automates whatever trading strategy one has, right? So if you want to automate your trading strategy, come to 3Commas, and then without coding just using our UI, we're trying to make it as self-sufficient as possible for you to be able to automate your trading strategy and then just sleep well and correct it if it's needed. So this was the promise of 2018, 19, and 20 and 21. With the market, with the way the market is changing, and most of the retail clients either being trading meme coins or having or using the tools that the exchanges provide themselves right now, we more see ourselves as a tool that will first provide the advanced features to traders who want to execute a more sophisticated strategies. So either that is strategy which will incorporate triggers or signals or whatever you want to call them from APIs, Telegram, TradingView, something like that. We do that with the Signal bot and with DCA bot as well. But the most important thing is the launch and the launch of the asset management MVP and the switch that we are making to allow people who manage a lot of bots, a lot of accounts, a lot of trades to do it like in a proper, effective, and sufficient manner. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much for answering this question. And I am pretty sure that our users definitely see that we're leaning towards professional and institutional users. And we will see how our asset management tool evolves in the upcoming year. So, talking about institutional players, how has the growing role of institutional players influenced 3Commas approach in 2024? And what advancements reflect this shift? I mean, definitely you already covered the MVP of asset management tool, but maybe there is something else.
Well, I would say that for me personally, the biggest drive that I have in the last month is the feedback that we are getting from the clients, like you could say from the leads that we talk with about what they want to see in this asset management product. Because let's be honest, the MVP that we have now it is really an MVP, and I'm not even sure how much viable is it, because a lot of features are still missing from it, and we are working hard to bring them to the market. But the main thing is that the feedback that we are getting from the potential leads is very positive. So people really want to use this scenario. So people have this, it's not right to call it pain, but basically they really want to solve it. They really want to have a proper, robust, secure, compliant tool to be able to manage a lot of accounts and a lot of strategies and do it effectively with the proper reports, proper risk management tools. Maybe they're a team of people, and maybe they want to have certain access rights to their different team members. This is what we do. This is what we are building, and the positive has been like the feedback has been very positive, and to me this is the main thing.
Yeah, that means that we're moving into the right direction. Yeah, and assessing our clients' needs. Okay, the last question I have regarding the 2024 year in review. So the recent bull run combined with the Black Friday period seemed to be a massive success for 3Commas, driving paying users growth to over 7%. How has this event impacted the platform's growth trajectory, and how do you plan to sustain this positive trend into 2025?
I would say that the most important thing for us is to bring value to the clients. So when we talk about the Black Friday or the bull run or whatever is happening with the market right now, I strongly believe in when you build the tools, the products that deliver value to the end user, it means that sooner or later this product will become successful and the users will be there. So the way we are thinking internally about it, and the way we are prioritizing, like literally thousands of requests that we have from our users, is what is the most important thing that we can build to bring value to the traders. What is that they want most, and how can we do that? So again, I want to be very honest with you. I completely understand that in some terms 3Commas is lacking in terms of the tools that we provide compared to the new competition that is on the market. The main difference here is that you should think about 3Commas as a multi-tool that tries to do quite a lot of things in a proper manner. But obviously, some more specialized tools would do more specialized tasks better. So with this pivot that we are making to the advanced and professional traders, I think we have a very clear vision and roadmap of what we're going to build. It is mostly the improving the way we integrate with third parties, the ability to make this automated strategy execution as on one side easy to the client, but on the other side to make it as complex in terms of the ability to provide as many useful features as possible, right? And this is the balance lies somewhere in between. So the idea on how to push the platform forward is a focus on the core audience, and the core audience are traders, and traders who stay with us for years and who trade quite big volumes. So this will be our top priority. We see that more and more now they're managing quite a lot of, as I said a couple of times already, like accounts, strategies, and everything else. And we want to make this easier for them. And basically, yeah, iterations. I am a strong believer in continuous improvement, gathering feedback. This is how 3Commas grew initially. We're mostly listening to what our users wanted, and we're delivering that. So we will continue in this manner. We will listen to our audience and push these things to the market.
Yep. Thank you very much for this comprehensive answer. So from my perspective, I think, of course, there are some drivers, like the bull run, the good marketing campaigns. But I think as long as you're building a product that's needed, as long as you're building the product that serves, the requests of the users, you're going to be successful anyways. Like all of the additional stuff, they're just adding the speed to your growth. And I think that's what you said during our pre-Christmas team call, that as long as we're building the sustainable product, that's what we need to focus on. That's what will drive our growth. Okay, guys, I see all of your questions. Please keep them coming. We will address them at the end if we have enough time. Okay, and now let's look ahead to 2025, because we're approaching the end of the year. We're all in the festive mood. Let's just think about 3Commas in this perspective. So what are the primary goals for 3Commas in 2025, and how do you plan to achieve them?
In a way, I think we covered quite a lot of that already. The goals are to build the next version of the asset management product and continue to do that. To continue to improve the main offering that we have for the advanced traders. We've been doing that this whole year, but guys, I want you to know that stability, quality, and security of the service are our top priorities. There are quite a lot of things that we need to do internally to make basically trades execute faster, signals execute faster and more robust. Because, for example, I already have this question on the right, like what is the technical background of the TradingView custom signal bug? I would like to answer this right now because it covers that. First of all, the main thing is that if you would at some point go and talk to TradingView or read the TradingView terms of service on that, they will always tell you that this is an information service, and the TradingView triggers were never supposed to be used as a robust trading mechanism. So my honest answer is that it really covers a very low amount of users. The bug is there. I'm not saying it's not. It is there. We're working hard together with the TradingView to find where it actually is, because as you've probably seen, there were quite a lot of changes already happening. It's not like we are discovering something for a month or so, right? It is becoming better, I would say, at least every couple of days. The issues are still there, and we are working hard to prioritize and find the fix. But unfortunately, in this particular case, it's very hard to say that the problem is like 100% on 3Commas side, or like I would even argue that it's not on 100% on the 3Commas side. Yeah. So this is that. And getting back to your question,
The primary goals in 2024.
primary goals: bring value to the users.
Yeah, as it was in 2024 as well. Okay.
As it was in 2020. Yeah, that's true.
As it was all of the previous years. Okay. So what new features or updates are in the pipeline to maintain 3Commas' position as the go-to platform for elite traders? Will there be any features targeting? Well, we already covered the institutional users. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's very. I wouldn't go deeply into the like all the features. We will definitely bring the next version of the backtest. I know the backtest is quite a priority, and we're doing it a little bit different compared to our competitors. So we are simulating the actual markets. So, for example, a backtest for Binance Spot and futures and like OKX futures will be different because it really simulates the real market that is happening there. This is one big thing, and multiple, like there are hundreds of improvements coming to all the bots. Finally, proper stats to grid bots, trading execution, big focus on these third-party connections, being able to execute external triggers correctly. So all that stuff.
Okay. Thank you very much. And before we move to the community questions, the last part is your personal reflections as a CEO and the leader of the company. So, reflecting on 2024, what leadership insights have helped you steer 3Commas through a rapidly evolving industry?
To me personally, this was quite a. This year brought a lot of challenges, mostly in terms of the way we updated the team, because as I said, we've updated like 60% of the management team. We've downsized quite in a big way, right? From 350 to 90 people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which requires a lot of change in processes, and then it also requires new people, new expertise, and new approach to the business. So it seems that the initial success that happened in 2020 and 2021, it was mostly driven due to the old culture that was there, which was mostly, you could call it more or less a family business or like a lifestyle business when you have a couple of friends running a company. But after the investment rounds in 2020 and 2021, and with this goal in mind that I have of building a company that brings value to the clients all over the world, having proper investors, proper support, and always pushing and always overachieving. I say that I probably will come openly with this next year, that 3Commas is a trade tech value catalyst. So we want to be trade tech value catalyst, which means that we are constantly looking into the new technology, and we try to implement whatever the new technology brings in a way where the end user can actually use it to their own good. It has nothing to do with promising profits. 3Commas will never be a platform that will give financial advice or trade for you. It is all about providing the best technology for the traders who have their strategies in mind, providing them with the best possible data input, analysis, knowledge, and most importantly, tools and infrastructure to be able to execute whatever they need.
Yeah, we're more like on the helping side. We're not giving any strategies and insights, but we're helping guys to execute your strategies and achieve you and to help you achieve your success. So, and the other question that I have is that how do you foresee the interplay between institutional and retail trading shaping the crypto landscape in 2025?
Well, it's very hard. I am not a big fan of this kind of predictions, to be honest. We will see what the market brings. I will be more happy to talk about the technology and that kind of stuff. But I would say that the trends are obviously there. So the regulation is the big trend. Everything that is happening with MiCA in Europe will change a lot. I think that all of you already see that exchanges like Binance and Bybit are closing their futures services for the at least next couple of months. I also saw a message in the chat, and I will answer it straight away. What is the reason for shutting down the Estonia business? At least for the upcoming future. The honest answer is that we have to do it because the legal framework that they have in Estonia basically doesn't allow us to operate. So the Estonian regulator took this very strange stance, which says that they don't want to have crypto companies operating in Estonia. And there is this legal obstacle, which basically says that you have to have a license, this new MiCA license, from the 1st of January. But the deadline of submitting the license is 30th of December, which means that, so just for you to know, there are literally 0 MiCA licenses being issued as of I'm speaking right now, so 0. And for example, in other countries, like in Germany, as this is a legal scrutiny, right? So the companies are being put in a situation where they cannot comply with the law. So there is no way you can actually be compliant with the law. So in Germany, for example, what the local regulator did is they said that it's okay, guys, we will give you a 6 months grace period, like a transition period, in which you can either apply for a license or at least continue operations. Our lawyers in Estonia tried to argue with the local regulator that this is an unfair advantage, which is also prohibited. Like this is an unfair competition, basically, right? They promote an unfair competition because the business similar to ours in Germany can continue operating, and we in Estonia do not. But unfortunately, due to whatever political reasons, I'm not a big expert in politics, but the answer from the Estonian regulator is that yes, it's unconstitutional. Yes, it is unfair competition. You can sue us, guys. But the law is the law, so you have to be compliant, and we cannot have these legal risks with us. So this is the reason why before we get a license in Estonia or in European Union, we will shut down the Estonian operations.
Yeah. Thank you very much for covering this, because I think that's a very important question. And since it directly affects our clients. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is right now, but we're working. Okay, so I think that was it for my pre-planned questions. And now I think we're ready to move forward with the community ones, even though we already started answering some of the questions in the chat. Okay, so I have 5 questions that I pre-selected from all of the questions you guys submitted beforehand. So that's why it's important to look at our social media when we announce the next coming MAA session, so you guys can submit your questions and make sure that they're definitely 100% answered. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So the first question is, you already touched this topic a little bit, but let's just go into details. What emerging technologies such as AI will 3Commas leverage in 2025?
Yeah, so we have, again, the 3Commas approach is always let's build an MVP, push it to the market, and then see how the audience reacts and if it's needed or not. So all this theme about the AI agents and how do they How will they change the market is obviously there. I hope that all of you guys read the Binance report about it. It's really great. I really recommend everyone to go through it. So let's just talk a little bit about what is that this AI the real AI application in a service like ours could do. And I would say that this is mostly two things. So first is the removing the barrier of describing the strategy that you want into either the UI or the code. So think of you being talking with a ChatGPT like bot, describing a strategy, and then you basically tell him that you want to do that, and it happens. This will be one thing. And the second big thing, and this is the main number one thing, is the analytics. So gathering all kinds of data sources together and trying to figure out how to navigate whatever is happening on the market, because again, it's always it's the same. You I guess all of you see the volatility that is happening even today and yesterday, right? The swings are crazy. Everyone is great in post analysis, but for like everyone here, I hope, is a trader, so you know that it doesn't really help much. So when something is happening, you need the proper whatever tools to do that. So yes, it's great to be able to have, and in the end, who has the better information can make the better decisions. And we are all about we're trying to incorporate the best possible solutions that will actually bring value in terms of this analytics and gathering the data here.
Yeah, definitely. I think when we're talking about those like hype technology that we're, like AI, it feels like every single project wants to, integrate it just because it's on the peak and everybody talks about, without actually seeing how it can benefit the users. So definitely our approach is a little bit more deep. Okay, let's go to the second question. How does 3Commas aim to differentiate itself from competitors in terms of innovation and user experience?
Didn't we already cover that? Because it feels a lot that so I would say that the main thing here is our focus on the advanced and professional traders and on people who manage a bunch of accounts, assets, and trading strategies. So it's all about when you have hundreds and thousands of bots. So you need you definitely need different set of tools, which are risk management tools, access management tools. This is one thing. And in terms of the core trading technology, I would say that we are working hard on making a proper geo-distributed infrastructure. I'm not sure if we will have it next year, but this is definitely a priority. So think of it as you have a strategy that works on Binance. So then these trades would be executed from servers that are located closer to Binance servers. And then there are other strategies executed on Coinbase. So whatever that is executed from servers that are in the Coinbase data center. So again, this requires quite a lot of changes inside, and we focused heavily on spending our resources to have the best tech inside, and then like provide the service that we can with that based on the technology. Again, tech is the king.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering this question. And there is a related question in chat. I will just go over it very briefly. Is your platform suitable for crypto beginners, or does it only limit it for professional users? Guys, that's what we've been talking about.
I would say that it definitely is. So we have the free plan, which allows you to use whatever tools we have for free. This is the whole idea behind the free plan. We have quite a big set of knowledge base. We have quite a lot of tutorials, and the community is also there. I would say it's not the question is not about one being a beginner or a professional. Maybe I did put it in a little bit wrong way over there. I would say that it's more about the approach that one has to either trading or investment or investing, or let's call it betting. Because I would hope that you will guys agree with me that when one buys a newly issued Solana meme coin, it's not about trading. It's not about thinking about the value. It's more about following the hype and trying to get the best coin out there to be able to sell it, whatever, 10x, 100x, or something like that. So what I'm saying is that 3Commas will never be a money button, and it will never be a platform that will tell you, okay, guys, buy this next, whatever, Peppa, Shiba Inu stuff, right? There are definitely platforms that do that. It's just not our focus. Our focus is to bring the best tools for traders who have a trading strategy in mind. And what they want is to automate the strategy and then save time and effort managing it. Because setting up a strategy for a normal person, it would mean what? So first you have to code it. Then if you want it to be somewhere in the cloud, so you need to be a little bit of a system admin or like DevOps who would operate the server. Then you will have to maintain your API connections. So it requires you not only to be a trader and have a trading strategy, but it also requires you to be a developer. And this is the thing that we are trying to solve mostly. We are trying to remove this barrier for a person who has a trading strategy to be actually to be able to execute it. So this is it.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering, because this is a question we usually get a lot. And talking about beginners and other resources we have as a community. Yuri already mentioned it, that you can join our community and talk to your peers. So I already saw that some of you guys scanned the QR code that we have in the corner of the video. So please make sure to scan the QR code, join our Telegram community where you can talk directly to me, and sometimes Yuri is also answering there. We have a wonderful moderation team. They will be more than happy to answer all of your questions, doesn't matter beginner or professional level. So let's just stay in touch in the community, and let's move forward with the questions. So the next question I have is about aligning with the users and their and the development team. So could you please share how the development team is enhancing the testing pipeline to ensure changes are thoughtfully tested and minimize disruptions to the API and web platform? I think we do have a couple of similar questions in the chat right now.
Yeah, well, let's just mostly see that the issue is there, and we mostly are. So our approach right now is that again, 3Commas needs quite a lot of changes inside to be as robust and secure and quick and fast platform that we need. So the main approach is that we are hiring a very experienced people who have their approach, which is completely different. Well, it's not completely different, but it is much better from what we had before. So this is one thing. And the other thing, because I also see that there are quite a lot of questions regarding the like SLAs and security in general and the API leak and so on and so forth, is that 3Commas is in the process of being an ISO 127001 certified company, which means that the processes of that we have inside, the quality process and everything should also be compliant with the standard. I guess this is it. It is try not to be perfect, but try to be better every day.
Yep. Thank you very much for addressing this. So the next question I actually have about the community. So are there plans to implement a mechanism that allows users to provide feedback or insights before major updates to critical features are rolled out?
So we already have it. And so there is a special group. And if you're interested in joining that, please communicate it in the chat. So there is like a beta testers group, which we try to keep small because in most of the cases, in real life, you will have quite a lot of people just piggybacking on there and not really providing an input. But this is what a thing that we have in place, and I'm actually quite happy with the way that it is set up. So this is one thing. And I guess it's a little bit different one, but on the more general side, we know that we need to do a better job communicating our roadmap, because I saw that there is a question about the roadmap. I wouldn't be sharing the roadmap with you guys today in any more detail that I already covered it. So again, the priorities are stability, institutional offering, and then enhancing the training tools that we have, focusing on mostly third-party integrations, triggers, speed, and all that. But we definitely need to communicate better, at least our quarterly to yearly plans, and I really am committed to do this next year.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering this question. And I think that covers the majority of the questions regarding the future of 3Commas and roadmap related messages. Okay, guys, we have only one question left. How many team members do you have? We already covered this.
No, we also have one about the API leak, and I think that this is important for me to cover it.
Let's go.
Vysen or Vysen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But the two questions that I see, the main one that I see is, what about a compensation plan for the victims of 3Commas API leak? Obviously, this is a very sensitive topic, and I would like to say the following. So 3Commas, as always was, is committed to getting justice in the way that the legal framework and the reality of the situation allows us to do. Which means that, as we've communicated multiple times, how did we approach it? Maybe a little bit of backstory will help. We've hired a very professional, and actually two very professional cybersecurity experts in the agencies to investigate the matter. And the second most important thing was that we were very closely communicating with the law enforcement agencies in Estonia. So in Estonia, this is the police. In the United States, which is the FBI. And the results of the investigation was that there were two groups of hackers who were involved in that. And the FBI has been following them for a while now. And actually, the funds that were siphoned through accounts were at some point moved to places which the police knows about, right? Now, the main thing to understand here is that 3Commas was a victim of this hacker attack, and we have offered the full cooperation that we could to the law enforcement agencies, and has been doing that since 2022. If, again, I would just repeat that if, unfortunately, you lost money due to this incident, you should talk to the police department, you should file the report, and then work through the legal ways, because this is what police is doing, we're still doing right now, and this is what the all kinds of law enforcement agencies are still doing right now, is that they're trying to find and actually put into custody the people who were involved with this. This is my answer.
Thank you very much for addressing this. I feel like in the incidents like that, the transparency is the key, and I'm sure our community and clients do appreciate your transparency about this. And before we wrap it up, I would suggest us to come up with a little bit of a positive note. And let's just ask. I have this question. It's not very serious, but I think it's an interesting one to talk about. So, what is always called? Was it always called 3 commas from the beginning? What's the story behind the name?
It's pretty simple. There are 3 commas in a billion, and at that moment, it was a notion that every crypto trader wants to be a billionaire. So at some point, it was never planned to be used as a major, like as a proper name. It was an internal name of the project, but then people, especially in the States, they loved it because of the show, because of the Silicon Valley, and this is how we came to that.
Oh,
I also
good to
see
know
that there are questions about the SLAs and Navi 78. As I said before, that this is our number one priority for the next year, to be the most stable, robust, and fast service on the market. So we will definitely invest a lot in that. We're already doing it, and we will continue to do so. So I would argue, again, in the way, like the good thing about 3 commas is that, and I would expect that you traders know that when there are big, because I'm experienced in that every day as a trader, and I also have a group of like my co-friends who are trading quite a lot. But even if we talk about one of the biggest exchanges on the market, like Bybit, so let's and then for the last like 2 weeks, when the huge movements are happening in the market, let's say like yesterday or today, I can I guess you have them, but I will be happy to put them on Twitter or like X right now. You are trying to execute a market order, so market order should get executed. You are just trying to buy BTC or whatever. What does the exchange do? It just cancels your order, and that's it. So your order will be canceled. And I have like logs for literally hundreds and thousands of cases like that, which to you should mean that when the big movement is happening, it is not that much as 3 commas is lagging. This is I'm not pushing the guilt to the exchanges, right? I'm just saying that this is a complex problem which should be addressed on multiple levels. And in a lot of cases, the reason why 3 commas brings value to the user is that the way we interact through the exchanges, because with some exchanges, we have proprietary API connections that are not available to everyone. Because we bring quite a lot of volumes, and exchanges in this matter like to communicate with us. So it means that you could easily have a case when the UI on an exchange is lagging, but if you do the trade through 3 commas, it will get executed. So this is it. I also see the question about how does 3 commas leverage strategic partnerships. To be honest, I don't really understand what does the question mean. I would probably answer that saying that 3 commas was the first Binance broker. We were really the first one to integrate Binance broker program. I was on the stage in Moscow with CZ presenting it at some point. That was back in 2019, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I think we don't really have any more time for more questions, unless there's at least one, Yuri, you want to answer 100%. I think.
I will just continue my talk with Navi, saying that, guys, we know that the problem is there. Like, it is there. We are committed to fix it. We will fix it. I promise you we will. It's not that easy to fix, because this trading view is a more complex thing. It's not just one piece of code somewhere in 3 commas that is laggy. It's a very multi-level system. and we are working very closely together with the TradingView team to get it fixed.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Guys, I think we're running out of time, but before we say goodbyes, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and highlight that right
Happy holidays. Yeah, happy
now.
holidays, and see you next year.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you. Thank you for the call today.
yeah, thank you guys. But please keep an eye on our Christmas campaign because we launched it this week. We have very nice offers for new users and for existing users. Please make sure you check out our landing page with all of the details. You also get some referral bonuses. And let me just quickly remind you that the campaign lasts from 19th of December until January 3rd. So it's limited in case you wanted to upgrade your plan. This is the perfect chance to do this. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your interesting questions. Thank you for being brave to asking those not always comfortable questions, but that led us to be transparent. And Yuriy, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for answering everything in so many details. And thank you for inspiring us and moving 3Commas forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.